All right, welcome back, all you addict fanatics. Thanks for joining me today. This episode is going to be for Veterans Day, which is, well, I'll be posting it Veterans Day. The three players I will be speaking of, they're all Hall of Famers. They all served in the United States military. As I turn this camera around, I will explain to you about these cards also, because they have a little story behind them and why I decided to collect them as well. So, that being said, I'll see you on the flip side. All right, this first player you're looking at right now is Ralph Kiner. And I wanted to explain a little bit. It's a 1952 RedMan Tobacco card with the tab. And I grew up with a grandfather who chewed tobacco. And he always chewed RedMan. Every Christmas, that's what he looked forward to. I don't know if they called them a case or a box, but my family would chip in and we'd get him a big box of RedMan that would probably last him a few months. So anyway, also with the 1952 being significant, that was the year my father was born. The story that goes behind these cards as well. I remember asking, when my grandfather first learned that I was into collecting baseball cards, he used to tell me about these cards that were in the packs of tobacco back in the day. And it would bum me out because he'd always tell me, yeah, I used to, get the card out of the pack and I had no use for it. So I would just, hand them out to the neighborhood kids. And, I kind of always felt like, man, why couldn't you just put them away and put them on a big pile and, someday I could have them in my possession. But that didn't happen. So a couple years ago, I only have three of them, but a couple years ago, I started collecting these. They are a little pricey for the better players, so it's a slow process. So I figured I'd start with three of my favorite players from that era, and this is Ralph Kiner. All right, Ralph Kiner served in the United States Navy as a pilot during World War II. He enlisted in 1943, completing the flight training at St. Mary's in California and Corpus Christi, Texas, and was commissioned in December 1944. Kiner then flew anti-submarine patrols in the Pacific Theater aboard the Martin PBM Mariners. His enlistment, he was inducted into the Navy in the spring of 1943, interrupting his professional baseball career. So a lot of these guys back then missed valuable time due to service. He flew submarine patrols in the Pacific, primarily from Kaneohe Bay, if I'm pronouncing that right, Naval Air Station in Hawaii, accumulating 1,200 flight hours during his service. After his military service ended in December of 1945, he resumed his baseball career and made his major league debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1946. We all know some of his stats. I mean, he led the league in home runs, I think, 7 years consecutively, which is no small accomplishment there. In 2013, Ralph received the Bob Feller Act of Valor Award, which recognizes him for his heroic service in the United States Navy during World War II. The award is given to Baseball Hall of Fame members who have demonstrated valor in their military service. Next, we have a 1953 RedMan Tobacco of Duke Snider, who played for the Brooklyn Dodgers at the time. Duke served in the U.S. Navy as well during World War II as a fireman third class from late 1944 to mid 1946. He was stationed in Guam, where he played on the ship's baseball team and was considered ready for the major leagues upon his return. So he had, I guess, a little bit of an advantage over Mr. Ralph Kiner. I didn't see anything or any information on Ralph Kiner playing any kind of baseball while he was in the service. He played baseball during his service, including for the ships and the Marine teams, and returned to the Brooklyn Dodgers organization in mid-1946 to resume his career. So yeah, so Duke had a little bit easier, I think, than Ralph. Not that any of these guys had it easy. It was wartime, tough times in that era. Next up, we have Mr. Warren Spahn. This is also a 1953 RedMan Tobacco. Hall of Fame pitcher Warren Spahn served in the U.S. Army during World War II as a combat engineer. He was awarded the Purple Heart, Bronze Star, and Battlefield Commission for his service, which included combat at the Battle of the Bulge. And all you that watch J Average Collector's channel, he does a series of Major League Baseball players that have served and have fought in the Battle of the Bulge. So Warren Spahn is one of them. He does a really good job with his series. So if you haven't checked his channel out yet, go over and do so. A lot of good stuff. But anyway, he fought in the Battle of the Bulge and the capture of the Ludendorff Bridge. He enlisted in late 1942 after a brief major league debut and returned to baseball in 1946 after being discharged as first lieutenant. So he was a combat engineer. You know, he built bridges over the Rhine. So he was an intricate part of the war, helped us, well deserving of his medals. I also remember as a kid, and I don't know, I could probably look it up on YouTube maybe, but I remember seeing an interview on ESPN where they were asking him about the war, and he was talking about how he was driving in a Jeep and they came under fire. When they got to safety, he had an actual bullet hole through his helmet, and it was high. I guess it sat high on his head. It didn't fit right or something. I remember him saying, I'll have to look that up and double check. But I do remember him saying something like that. And man, what a career he had. Even with losing those years in the service. Warren is the winningest left-handed pitcher of all time in Major League history with 363 career wins. He was a 17-time All-Star and played for 21 seasons, winning the Cy Young Award in 1957. So quite an accomplishment. He won 20 or more games in 13 of those seasons. The Warren Spahn Award, given annually to the best left-hand pitcher in Major League, is named in his honor. What a guy. I was always drawn to Warren Spahn for whatever reason. Maybe it has to do with being the guy that gave up the home run to Luke Appling in that Old Timers game that I remember back in like 1983. ESPN just became very popular within the first few years there. And I remember watching the Old Timers game and seeing him pitch. And even though he gave up that home run, I just thought he was such a cool cat. There you go. That's what I have. I hope you enjoyed. I'll show you all three together. There's a few I would like to get. Stan Musial is probably one of the bigger ones I want to get still. See you on the flip side. I'll be right back. Bam. And there I am. Anyway, for any of you wondering out there how I'm doing after my surgery, it's been about a little over 2 weeks. I'm healing. I'm on the mend. I'm able to make this video tonight or today. And my restrictions of 10 to 15 have now got raised to 20 to 25, maybe 30. He said just to take it easy a little bit and, you know, continue to heal. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed my little video. Sporting my Andy's Attic camo. God bless the USA. And if I do this, now you can't see me, right? I'm all camoed out. Anyway. God bless. Take care. Have a super freaking awesome day, everyone. Peace, y'all.